Hello.
Hi, guys.
Recording.
just making sure the
bit
things
of
are-
a different kind of stream today.
Yeah, we just chilling.
Yes, you did.
I did.
Good.
I did see the hydrate from
Okay,
Bacon.
good.
I will.
We just chilling. Did you? Good. You're in charge of checking that.
I did see that.
Okay,
That was
so
seriously-
I guess I'm our announcements person, so I guess I'll take the intro away from our fearless leader who is not here with us today. Good morning, welcome to the Like an Moss channel. We are doing a little bit of a weird in between because our previous plan to pre-record this whole month did not go as planned.
Didn't happen.
It's nobody's fault. There was just a lot of like real life things that just made it impossible. So it just didn't happen. So we are just hanging out, and it's gonna be a chill day, and we're gonna take a look at some of the question and answers that we had set aside to pre-record, just because we have those, and those are cool, and we can answer some of them for how we want to answer them. And it'd be cool if we might do this style again with less people, with the other people at some point. So we're feeling great today. How are we all feeling? Yep, there it goes. There aren't really any other specific announcements other than we will be getting back to our regular streaming, hopefully post any other like real life difficulties on January 4th, which is our next every other week schedule. So we hope everybody is having a good holiday month, whatever your holidays you may be celebrating, and is enjoying whatever weather is in their hemisphere that they are also waiting for.
We don't have any snow right now, and I'm actually so upset about it.
It's been the weirdest winter in Utah, so it's bad. So it's great. We
Also, just for anyone who wants to redeem things in chat for today, don't redeem anything that can affect our characters in the game, because we're not doing any of that today. So you can redeem Hydrate.
And we're not taking notes on it. Yes.
We're not. Yeah. So you can redeem Hydrate, and you can redeem like the preventing us from swearing or things like that. But like if it's something that affects our characters in the game or gives our DM effects for us in game, please don't redeem them for this stream.
Please don't. Not today. Thank you. Good announcement. Good. Yes. So yeah, we're really just making it a chill streaming day today. The idea is we have a bunch of the questions from our Q&A section, but we can also just be like chilling, and we might get to doing crafty things or working on stream things. We're lots of ideas. So I have a couple of art commissions that I need to finish, so that might be what I end up doing. So
yeah, we're gonna be body doubling. We'll answer some questions as we go. If you guys want to ask us some questions, feel free. No guarantee. Some of them
too.
There's some that we come through what we were given, and there's some that we won't answer because they'll come up in game. And it's not because we don't want to answer them. It's because we'd rather it become organically known. So feel free to ask us whatever you want.
Or we'd rather
just might not answer it.
Exactly. So
I do know one that we were talking about because it brought up the conversation of us drawing them was what tarot card we think our characters would be.
Oh, that's right. Yep, I remember that one. I think I remember saying for Kerr, I think he very much either started out as like the Fool and currently is like the Hanged Man, because that was what our conversation was. We were thinking like, what were our characters at the beginning of the campaign,
and what are they now? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I'm trying to remember. So I think at the beginning of the game, I don't remember what I said at first. I think at first Duke probably was the World, but now he fits more of the Magician.
Makes sense.
Somehow there are 6 fools. But yeah, the reason I think that one was the first one I thought of is because there is a D&D show that I've gotten really into, and I'm really sad because the campaign I started with is one that they're taking a year-long break on, and now I'm devastated.
Oh,
if anyone has time,
no. This tragedy.
the D&D actual play stream, Bards of New York, is really good. They're a group of amazing, wholesome people. They have all of the memes. They are just a group of friends playing D&D, and it's great. I love them. I've been watching Regulus Dark Age, and it's so good, but I won't get more content until July of this next year, and I'm so upset because I finished with my new job. I'm able to listen to podcasts and stuff while I'm working, and I got through it so fast, and now I'm so upset. It's fine, guys, I promise.
Sorry, it's the holidays. It's just what happens.
It is what it is.
For anyone who's new in Day, it is. We are. I'm sorry. I'm having the screen buffer. Okay, I guess it's buffering. Not again. Every once in a while, my screen just like it buffers because I'm not there. So that's
we can't
why
hear
I'm
you.
pausing so much. By the way, sorry about that.
We can hear you. It's just your camera stops working.
Am I buffered back? I don't understand.
Technical gremlins, you guys. It's great.
I'm so sorry. I just wanted to restate everyone's gonna be a chill stream today, which is the two of us, because real life things fell through for pre-recording. So it's just gonna be us. It's gonna be great. Don't redeem things for the chat aside from just like hydrate or no swearing, which KJ I don't swear too much in my normal natural life.
No,
I don't think swear
I do either
in stream because that's what Kerr does.
Because that's what Kerr does.
See, guys, fun fact: L does not have a bad mouth, but Kerr is
L really doesn't
swear.
Like on the few occasions that I actually get to hang out with L in person, sure there is some foul language, but that's just depending on the circumstances and the amount of chaotic creators we have. But like in our normal lives, we don't swear all that much, if ever.
Not really.
Flynn does when he's angry. Also, hi James. For anyone who sees Tabletop Misfits in the chat, there's a mini-series that I'm a part of that I think the first half of the finale is streaming later today, if I'm remembering correctly. But the Tabletop Misfits channel is my buddy James, who plays Ben. He's great. Love him.
We love him. Love. All right. So, we did the tarot one. Very important question, especially between our two characters. Top or bottom bunk?
What a simple question that has so many intricacies to it.
Yeah, really, just a simple question, guys. Which we are being fully honest about the bunk.
Again, no.
Yes, you guys tell me cool it when we're playing, by the way.
This is entirely with the question asked, no innuendos involved.
Bunk, yeah.
Bottom.
I'm actually really surprised to hear that because I swear Duke has climbed up to high places every single time that he has an opportunity. So I'm actually surprised to hear like
okay, but when he's settling down at night, he burrows into the ground.
Okay, I see it.
He has more security if he's down, which is really funny for someone who lives their life as an acrobat.
Yeah, right. A snackerbat.
A snackerbat.
I thought that's what you said.
I wish.
Yeah, right.
That's what I said now, guys. You didn't hear what I said before.
Yep, or snackerbat. I think for Kerr, he's also going to sound awful for how the question is worded. I think he just doesn't care. He'll sleep on whatever bed's available. So it's bottom or top bunk, which also is definitely not a innuendo. It's just he'll pass out anywhere. So
I love that we're like, we have to clarify. We are not.
Clarify here.
We are not. Ugh.
We're a wholesome channel here, guys. We
We're
don't
a
swear,
wholesome
and
channel.
we are very good. And I didn't just barely get more tattoos, so
I want to get one. Like now that I'm making some bonus. Now that I'm making more money, I'm actually like putting a fund towards saving to get one because I want to so bad.
yeah, I could
And
get.
I've been hanging on to one for like 2 years. I just haven't had the funds to do it yet. So
Okay, good. It's really funny because half of tattoo is funds, and then half of tattooing is finding an artist that you like.
I
or
haven't
you
even started
know
the search
is-
for an artist.
Exactly. So it's worth asking your friends who have tattoos, like, and also live
Mhm.
nearby, or like just people you know who have tattoos. Be like, hey, what
You
shops?
think I have friends outside of social media?
You have coworkers at the very least. So coworkers, you have tattoos. If you
I
can
have-
see them, you can ask.
I have Mormon coworkers.
Okay, in that case, then you're
That's
kind of
a
screwed. And
different
best bet
thing.
best bet is going to be when you're visiting somewhere, get
Do
your
it,
tattoo.
yeah.
And has to be one you can get done in an afternoon.
Well, we'll see what happens. The last half is finding the right spot for it. I already have the spot, so I want to get one that follows my collarbone.
Oh, yeah, hey, we love those. They
Which
hurt.
actually, there's
Let me tell you
a bit
right now,
of
they
a.
hurt.
Oh, I'm aware, but that's what I want. There's actually a hint towards it in some art that I did of an Ushfe persona finally visualized.
Oh,
Granted, that one is only half of it, but yeah.
makes sense. Musicaholic. Oh, good morning, Chelsea. How you doing?
I love that Bacon's like, I could give suggestions, but I think traveling might cost more than the tattoo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. I got the
That's
one
the
that's on my shoulder was what I got when we were in Santa Monica for me and my bestie, and that trip was like pricey because we were also there for like 3 days just to like
Yeah.
have a fun time and like make it a trip. But also the artist was crazy expensive, and I still think
For
he
sure.
overpaid a little bit. But it's the balance of they are a specialized artist.
It's kind of the same thing when you're like getting a commission for art for like a D&D character, because it's very much the same thing where you want good quality but also decent prices. So sometimes you have to get recommendations through your friends.
Okay. But yeah, all different things. Okay, so we've answered 2 questions, 2. Picking up stuff.
I still think the what flavor soda / energy drink would your character be is such a funny question. Would be
I feel-
Duke wouldn't do energy drinks or sodas.
I think you would. Yeah, Duke sounds more of like a
He's like
I don't know,
a strawberry lemonade kind of a person.
milkshake, so some kind of strawberry lemonade milkshake.
Duke would not do coffee.
Yeah,
He doesn't do any kind
I
of
was gonna say
caffeinated
maybe-
beverage. He
Maybe
doesn't.
like a matcha
he's,
tea.
maybe.
Like tea. I could see it being a tea.
I just know, like
Um,
in my head, Duke is an artist, and because he uses his body so much, he's one of those people. Like he's not against drinking them, and he will every once in a while. But caffeine, for the most part, he doesn't partake in because he has a specific like dietary regimen he follows. So caffeine's just not like his typical thing. Like he'll have it if someone's offering, and it's like the only thing in the room. But like if there's other beverage options, there's gonna be other things.
yeah, exactly.
Also, I didn't say it, but hi, Chelsea.
Exactly.
I,
Say hi to
I
Chelsea.
finally opened the gift that Chelsea sent. I finally opened it, and I keep fiddling with one of the things that was in there.
They're so cute. I like them. I
So
got mine
good.
for presents. I got mine, and I got the one that I'm gonna send off to Scree. I just need to wait for Scree to get back to me about the address.
About
Sorry for that.
addresses, yeah.
You know about that, Chelsea. Scree hasn't quite gotten everything settled yet, so it's really cute though. It's real fun. I like
They're
having
so cute.
everything in my little box too, because it's like all in one place, and then I have it in my background all the time.
My
It makes me
box
really
is over there somewhere.
happy. It's somewhere.
But
Oh, I
like
will say-
because of one of the items in here, that's what started me back into like messing around with my wax sealing stuff. It's because of you, Chelsea. I blame you.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
For the drink, would your character be? Cur's definitely a Monster Energy drink.
What
None
flavor?
of us are so
What
what
flavor?
flavor of Monster Energy? I think he's just like the basic one, honestly.
The
like
basic?
the basic one. It's just like it's quick, efficient, and it like you know what you're getting into.
That's
So
That's so fair.
it's also sometimes what's it? What is it when you mix Jaeger with Monster Energy? He might be that occasionally too. Like that's why that's why he's a
That
basic
checks out.
Monster Energy, because it's when you mix Jaeger and Monster together. That's
We
what
can
it's
agree to disagree. Agree to disagree.
Regular is good though. It's a very
It's a classic for a reason, but if I have an option between the basic or something else, I'm picking something else. But also, I don't drink energy drinks very often because they
you'll
don't
go with something
work.
else.
Like caffeine, for the most part, unless it's like through the pure capsule form, does not affect me like at all. So I'd rather drink something else because sometimes the flavor of it just it's not my cup of tea. They're aggressive, and I'm not a huge fan of them.
Not right. Fair enough. Caffeine's not good for you kids. You heard that here on our very wholesome channel, where we are the most wholesome people. So it's so true. We're the most wholesome, and that's why we're here today. Not anybody else.
Well, that's partially other reasons, but that's okay.
All right. What's a good question?
Siblings, we love it.
We love it on the Sunday, especially. Okay. I think I want to answer, who's y'all's favorite NPC at this point of the campaign?
Ooh, that's such a hard question for me. This is. I think this is slowly getting more well known. For me, picking favorites is almost impossible because I like things for different reasons. So I will give comfort characters for separate reasons, but I have such a hard time picking like one favorite.
I know it's hard to have a favorite, but like there's the thing. There's definitely rotating favorites too, depending on like where we're at in a story line and how much we're engaging with them. I know I desperately love Potts every single time that they have been implemented into story beats.
Potts is pretty great.
Immediately makes me just so happy to see them in story. It's awesome.
This was an off-shot thing, and it's not my favorite, but it's a really good one because it was a moment of levity that I don't think we were expecting, which was the little fungi.
The little mushroom guy? Oh
yeah, where we got the "Don't Lick the Baby" clip from.
I love it so much. That was just
a fun little levity moment. If I had to pick a favorite, my instinct, just kind of for personal reasons, but also because of the amount of mystery around the character, would be Thomas.
Oh, I guess I don't see
God
them
of Death.
Yeah, the death guy.
Technically is an NPC.
Technically it's an NPC. Yeah, I guess in my brain I see them as like a deity, and it's not like someone we've interacted with, but we really have.
But we really have.
We've interacted with them a lot, and
I love that it's us two that are talking about this too, because it's us.
Yeah. And so Thomas, if we ever get a moment with him, so
I really can't wait to see what
else happens.
What comes from potentially the bargain I made. Yeah. I don't know where that's gonna go. I did it because it felt right in the moment, because like outside of my head, there is a little piece of our brains that is just like our character's headspace that's constantly circulating the information that we've been given. So there's still a lot of emotions and struggling to deal with what happened when it came to Jet. But then the deal with Thomas, which might not be an actual deal, and it's kind of a little flimsy, and whether that's going to be like a set of feats that'll change something, or a switch in like a subclass, or if I'll take another multi-class. I'm not sure how that's going to go. What I need to do is sit down and chat with Zatara about it, because I've mentioned, probably not on stream, but at least to like the group, that I had looked into changing my subclass. I just hadn't found one I liked.
Right.
But yeah, all of the things. I think I've gone toe to toe with Thomas outside of life or death scenarios too. Because there was that shot that I took that was an interaction with Thomas.
Yeah, that was cool.
Well, I've already multi-classed too, so it's like I kind of don't want to multi-class and would rather like change a subclass because it makes a little more sense.
It's really hard to have like a strong base as a triple class, and like unless you're really level and then picking up a third
unless
class,
you're min-maxing to everything, it's really hard to multi-class.
I saw someone like describe it as like custom fairy class or whatever, and it was in regards to like a Baldur's Gate build, basically, about what monster they had created as far as like classes, subclasses, and like multi-classes, to like have some very specific skills that they could use when they were in combat. And on the one hand, I respect the game. On the other, I don't know if I care that much when it comes to.
Not me. Because like it's already hard enough when we it's already hard enough when we level up trying to pick between the two both of us already have, and I always level up thematically, so whatever skill set I used the most or had the most advancements in that arc, that's the class that I tend to level up in, unless I have some other persuasion or DM behind the scenes to sway me the other direction.
That makes sense. Honestly, I really like to try and play a class as it is with a character typically. So like I'll only multi-class if it feels like, hey, there's things about this character I feel like leech into other things, and that's why Kerr is a multi-class, a barbarian, because there's a lot of him that's music and rage, literally, and so I'm interested as we go on to see what more he is, whether he's a fighter or like a music person, like someone more of like a cerebral and stuff like that. So that's what exactly like you said, like thematically choosing the character in the class.
I'm trying to remember, because I think, did I take another level in Bard more recently? I don't remember.
So we did just barely do. I think I did another level in Barbarian, and so Kerr's at, because we're like,
I don't remember.
We're level 7 right now. Yes, we're level 7. I think Kerr is a level 2 Bard, and then
are we level 7?
Barbarian. We are level 7 or 6. I think that we just
mine is showing level 6.
Okay, then that's what we were at then. Right?
Yeah, so I've got 3 in each, because I remember I recently took my Bard subclass.
Okay. Where's my characters? Okay.
I think we're 6.
Where's mine?
Because there was a whole conversation about Scree already being level 6 because of the Warlock forced level.
Yeah.
What did I even take? Of course, that's what I took as a Bard College. And I haven't used any of it.
We are level 6. I was very mistaken. So he's 4 levels of Barbarian and then 2 levels of Bard. So
I'm 3 of each.
Yep. You're really balancing that out, and I'm over here being like, how do I increase my hit damage?
Honestly, that's real. Well, part of it was because the last level cap that we finished, I hadn't focused so much on the martial aspects of everything, because the level before that we had finished the Colosseum and we hit the level up then, and that I took the monk level in because that is what I had used most. But since then it's been more of the like talking, conversation, trying to do that, and that is more the bard side of Duke. So I took the level in bard, which I think I'm looking at the subclass I took and I'm like, I sigh at myself, but also it makes sense. And I'm not going to say it on stream because you just have to wait and find out when I use some of the skills that are part of the subclass.
Find out with the cool subclass, guys. Just discover the subclass along the way.
There's part of me that's like, I just might do the same thing that I did for my race and just make my own subclass for monk specifically, because that's a subclass I've thought about changing for a while.
That'd be good.
But that's a I need to talk to Zatara and have time to do that. But Zatara's also, fun fact, he has chosen the people that will be playing in his Daggerheart series. So that is kicking off and getting started. Ooh. I only know because Millie did not get chosen, and he was real bummed about that. But Zatara had so many people audition. Like, just the one time that he had said a number, it was like nigh 20 people had already auditioned, and he had even more since then. So he had a big pool of people to pick from.
It's awesome to have so many people interested. There's a lot of people, and you got to shrink that down to make that manageable.
So, I need to actually go back and check his socials to see if they have like posted the cast list yet. But some people have had a misunderstanding that will be something streamed on the Of Like and Amos channel, and it's not. That is a personal project for Zatara that will be on Zatara's channel.
Yes. So
because I know that was a misconception I had, and that's not the case. That will not be like a second campaign of the Of Like and Amos. No, this is a personal project for Zatara. So I think 45 at the start of what their story said. That's insane.
Zatara's Tavern. Yeah, that's crazy.
No cast list yet? Cool. Jeez. Well, you guys are more on top of it than I am. That's because I didn't audition for it. Zatara is such a great DM. Like, I don't think we say it enough. So like, I know that we give compliments to Zatara and everything, but the amount of time and attention that Zatara gives, and like working with what we have and our ideas, and making sure, like, checking in on like emotionally heavy sessions after we're off stream and making sure everyone's okay, like, could not have a better storyteller to be working with. He is such an amazing person, and being able to work with them is
truly awesome. There's a reason why this stream has continued on longer than a lot of other like streams I've ever tried to be a part of or play in and stuff like that. Like there's a reason this campaign just like so fun to get into and bite our teeth into every time, and just it's great. It's my favorite kind of storytelling, where it's just very fun and collaborative. Sure.
But also, for the most part, all of us are more roleplay oriented when it comes to how we do storytelling. So yes, there is the game mechanics when it comes to combat and certain things, but all of us understand that we're here to tell a story, and the dice rolls are to help facilitate that, but are not necessary. And that's part of why I think we jive so well, is a lot of us have similar play styles.
Yeah. Oh, it's so fun. And it's so fun. It's also been, gosh, it's great. Like, this is also what I love about like D&D in general, is that when you play with different people and like different characters, you engage with the role play and with the game mechanics differently over and over again. It's like a fun new lesson over and over again. And it also, like, because we stream, like, we're also doing a little bit of like a performance spin on it, because we're trying to be like, here we're doing the accents, or here we're like being in costume sometimes. Like, we're trying to like make it a spin, like a fun little thing. And I like the challenge of improving my storytelling with my other cool storytelling friends. And like, I'm nowhere near as cool as people, but like, it's really
all of us have very different styles that we take when it comes to the way that we role play. And sometimes that means we butt heads when it comes to some of the ways that we approach things, but at the same time, it's different perspectives, and we constantly are learning new things from each other. And it's Zatara is so good at making, like, truly transforming into the characters that he's portraying. And, like, they don't even use a huge gambit of accents or, like, physicality, but, like, it almost doesn't matter. There's 34 people that put in an application as Zatara, wants to lower it down to 5 people. It's no easy feat. As fair as I know, he reduced it to 12 or 10 people currently, and wants to have a one-on-one with the last people to see how well they fit in the game. Okay.
Oh wow, that's definitely a thorough, like, boiling down the pot. So,
but you kind of have to.
You have to. It's you. There is a reason why more than 4 players is insane.
Is a nightmare.
Listen, we can't all be Critical Role with our rotating cast of 18 people now. I don't know how they're doing it.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
proud of them.
Props to Brennan Lee Mulligan, but, like, couldn't do it.
I mean, like, I truly think it's a testament to what Critical Role has been building towards for the last 3 campaigns and stuff. Is this beautiful menagerie of all these different players, which is awesome.
Because I mean,
but
in the last this year,
that level.
This year was their 10th anniversary of professionally streaming Critical Role. That's not counting the amount of time that they were friends and playing D&D at home together. Like, this is a group that is so intrinsically capable of doing so many things together. So, yes, it is complicated, but they've had 10 years to do this.
Yeah, just for anyone at home who is thinking about doing D&D or playing as the DM, no more than 3 or 4 to start with.
Start small.
Start small. There's a reason why this standard party is typically 4 or 5. It's because more than that is insane, and it's already a lot to think about as a DM. So again,
because for the Dimensional Dial of Dr. Diago, we started with 6, and it has trickled down to 4 core cast, and then 1 or 2 additional guests intermixing here and there. But that's because our DM is able to handle that. And he's, granted, a lot of the characters and cast that we have for that show are very good at what they do when it comes to storytelling. Because we have Victor the Story Weaver, who is very well known for the kinds of characters he makes and the intrinsic stories that he's able to weave and write. So
straight up a real life.
Yeah. I mean, there's me, but I'm not going to toot my own horn because, there's...
Okay, no, I'll toot it for you, because there's a reason you keep being invited to those spaces to, keep being a part of the storytelling. It's happened over and over again. It's because you...
I've had some really, really cool opportunities, for sure.
Yeah. So I'll toot your horn for it. You're very good at storytelling and being a collaborator, so that's why it's awesome. I'll toot that for you, so...
Then there's Daddy Tarzan 82855. I'm using their handles. We just call him Tarzan now, which I'm actually more consistently, regularly, currently. He's also part of the miniseries with Tabletop Misfits I'm a part of. He's playing one of his oldest, the first personal original character he ever created, whose name is Luca, for those who might know the character. But he DMs a series with To Be Diced. He's in a lot of things, and where we have our differences, and there's a lot of reasons for that, he is still a good storyteller. He understands how to fill the facets of things, because there's a lot of times where we get a little carried away and too in the sauce for everything that's going on, and he likes to play those characters that cut through it and make decisions, have decisions to get made quickly, which is really important, actually. Nobody talks about that enough, but you have to have a person like that, and he's that person for that. And then there's Nerdy Pinup Girl, Taylor, who she's our resident chaos junkie, for sure. But she has a lot of high energy and emotions when it comes to a lot of things, which sometimes can be hard to handle, but it's good for certain stories, and she knows when to pull back on it.
The best part of collaborative games is all the different personalities and things like that.
And then, similar to me, where he's in every other space, is our DM, which is Wartor Knight, otherwise known as Matt. Love that guy. Matt. Great person. He DMs that. He plays in a handful of other series on To Be Diced. He plays in a different campaign on the Tabletop Misfits channel. It's a Power Rangers game, I believe. But he's in so many different projects, and I'm not surprised that he is, because he's a fantastic storyteller. He's also got a handful of accents. Like, when it comes to DMing, do not think you have to have a huge gambit of accents. You don't need them. You don't need them.
You don't need accents at all, actually.
I promise.
You really don't. You can just be a person who... A lot of it's just, like, by tone more than by, like, accent.
Yeah.
So
you don't need it, I promise.
That's the secret, guys. Yeah. Okay. I think we've gone away from questions for a little bit, so let me grab another one from there. One of the questions was, how would your characters think about you in real life? I remember us talking about this one, I remember I was very surprised by your answer, and it made me realize a few things about Duke.
I'm trying to remember exactly how I phrased it, but I think on some level there would be a level of respect that Duke would have for me because I am a creative and I do certain things, but I'm not on the level that Duke is when it comes to certain amounts of creativity, especially when it comes to physical expression of it in dance and even theater and things like that, because I'm not that good at them. Not for lack of trying, mind you, and I'm still a wee baby when it comes to like theater and things like that, even though I've been doing it for years, because if you're not consistently in them, you lose some of those habits. But because that is literally all Duke does, that's his job as that kind of creator, there's certain things that I just physically cannot do that he can, and there's a bit of like, okay, like respect, but also don't talk to me. You haven't earned that right yet.
What I swear the way you said it like the first time was something like a superiority over people who can't do what he does, which I guess I didn't realize was a part of his personality in general in game. And because we're the heroes, we're the nice guys, we're trying to help people solve a problem. So by necessity of plot, that's how we act. But there's also
there hasn't been a chance for that side of him to come out, because everybody in the party to some form is a creative on par with him. To some extent. Scree is the only minor exception, but Scree is a little baby, and Duke knows that, and is going to be kind, because Duke can help usher and teach. But like, if you remember the one shot of Duke's where there was the rival band that was playing locally the same time that Duke's Circus came around, he was an ass. Right. He was an ass.
Oh, he was absolutely an ass. Well, like, no, and that's the thing is, like, now that I have this knowledge of Duke, I not that I've looked at him differently, but like I see where his interactions with others is, in one sense, really like trying to engage with people on his level. That's a lot of what Duke is looking for. But if you're not on his level, there's an immediate split judgment of, oh, you're not as good as me, and you never will be, and you don't work hard. Or there's, I can help you. I'm above you, and I can help you. And it's that superiority, which I realized, like, that I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I would like Duke if I ever met him in person. I think there'd be like a couple of like interesting things I'd be like, oh, that's really awesome, respect what they can do as a creator and like as a project person. But then like if I ever was like in a project with him, I feel like I would not like him. I'd be polite,
get frustrated,
nice, but like I would be get cool,
very frustrated very quickly.
Not frustrated. I would just be like, cool, I don't need to make this a long-term plan. But that's me, L, specifically with Duke, and that was very fascinating to learn.
He's the kind of individual that working with him every once in a while in a professional capacity, it's manageable. Fine. Might even have some good things to say about the guy. But like trying to become friends with him if you're not on his level or things like that, it's not easy. And he's really mean about it.
Yeah, like that superiority, it's fascinating. It's fascinating to me. Just as because I've seen it in people, and I didn't realize it was Duke, and now I'm looking back and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just been there the whole time.
He would be like an indie creator of some kind when it comes to performances, like not quite Broadway level of shows, but like the just next step off Broadway, where it's like he's good at what he does. He's not the best, and he knows that, but also that's what he's striving to get towards, and people who don't strive for greatness aren't worth what they've got. Which is terrible. Terrible.
We have, and this is what's really fun about Kerr, because I think in real life, because like if how Kerr would think about me is like the other half of this question, is Kerr is in general like a mess, and so Kerr's attitude towards other people is kind of just meet them where they're at, and like if you are like not, you get what you give kind of stuff, and Kerr's definitely got like his own ego about things, but he's also down to party at the bar with literally anybody. So he's a person I think that is like knows everybody's name and just like would hang out with them as long as like we're having a good time. So Kerr and me, I think would get along. I don't know that we would be like best friends, but I think the two of us would like go to a rock concert and like, or like go to a party or whatever, like go have fun doing a thing, go to a rage room, you know, like there's things I can see or imagine doing with Kerr that's just like, yep, this is what the group's doing, we're gonna go party and hang out and stuff like that. And so Kerr's attitude towards people is generally that you get what you give, and very community is what it is. And so it's very funny thinking about how like that difference in the creative minds of
that's
Duke and
part
Kerr,
of why they clash.
and that's probably why they clash so much, is one of them is like, oh, what's the word, it's like looking for exemplary and expecting that is the goal of everybody who is a creative,
Expecting the best from everybody
Kerr,
and finding mundane.
Versus Kerr, which is like the mundane is full of like excellence, and like that different sense of like you have to practice music differently to like be a long-term performer versus like a I'm gonna say this nicely for like
What?
a kind like a kind
Sorry
of
about
go ahead. There are some performers who have a very specific like recipe, like formula for their performances, and it's not that that's a bad thing, that's just it's what they've done to become excellent at that thing. And so there's a major difference between bands and groups that are like constantly like bringing new stuff or changing things up or reaching out to like the band members for whatever reasons, versus someone who's kind of like a solo act who has a very specific formula, and that's it, and that's what they do, and that's what they're going to do until the day they stop, because they've made that excellence that level. And so the two of them, the two Kerr and Duke, being so different about like what they consider is like performing and arts and things.
And
like
I
that.
think it's really interesting because a lot of people look at Duke from where we are in the actual play. It's like, yeah, huge solo act, doesn't know how to play well with others. But also, he comes from a circus, you guys. He does know how to play well with others. He only does it when he thinks they've earned it.
Yep.
Or when they've shown that they, I mean, it's kind of the same, but show that they've deserved the respect and ability to work with each other. So, like, there was a conversation, it was an argument, rather, in game where we were talking about, like, you need to put your ego aside and let us help you kind of stuff. And in Duke's head, it's like, there's a level of mistrust there, because it's like, what have you done to show that like I can trust you? Because he's died twice in game, you guys. That's not a great confidence builder. But yeah, some of that really for sure was his own fault. Absolutely, I'm not disregarding that. And I know there's a huge joke about like Duke dying a lot. Some of that is not his fault. I think there's about 40% of the causality of Duke's deaths that is his own fault because of his own hubris and ideologies. But circumstances and other factors are the other 60%.
The first time that Duke died was definitely like a wake-up call to us in the campaign, because that was the first character who'd ever had like a near close death.
And it was not my fault at all.
It was. I don't know. You running so far ahead of us that we were not nearby.
The first death was a backstabbing.
You're right, but you were also like alone. is what had happened. You ran ahead very quickly, and I don't think you
think with
realized how
that one.
swift you were. You were really far up ahead. I swear you
Because
were.
that one, it was in the battlefield, and Scree was just ahead of me in the main platform. You were across, like, we were all in the same room. It was during combat, at the like tail end of combat. I hadn't run ahead anywhere. We were in the same area as each other. Anyone could have gotten to me, but I don't remember the character's name. Had stabbed me in the back and then fucking disappeared. And Scree was the only one who saw what happened. I was not alone. That one was not my fault. I will not take responsibility for that one. But it was definitely the second one. The second one where I was impaled 100% was, and in Duke's head it was, I can be faster than these people. I can keep up with the person who we're looking for that just got taken hostage. Mm-hmm. But also in his brain, because he didn't start any aggressive action until somebody else was in the room, that made it okay, which it wasn't. But that's where his headspace was.
Yeah.
So that one, yes, about 40% of that death was his own fault.
In other words, Duke, in the second time, fucked around and found out.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's done a lot for his character because he's a lot more trepidatious and cautious now. So he doesn't make those same mistakes.
Yeah.
Because now he's been pretty good about keeping to at least a buddy system, unless circumstances have dictated otherwise through necessity. But since that second death, he has not been by himself when it comes to dangerous situations. But also, I have a lot of intrigue and things that I want to learn, so it's partly I'm forcing character growth onto Duke, partially because situations kind of dictate it, but also something that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to storytelling is a lot of the events that are happening back to back to back are in such a small amount of time, a week at most, and that's not a lot of time to process and have that character development. So there's some of what we do that's a little rushed and wouldn't probably happen like that in real time, but that's partially for necessity.
That's storytelling.
Went at the pace of what Duke's character development would be in real life, he would still be closer to the beginning of the story than he is now. But storytelling dictates otherwise. But also makes for a good story. So, like,
yeah, that's just RP. It's just RPGs in general. This sped up version of what would your character do if this happens to them, and it's a crunched down time crunch is what it is.
Well, we're almost at 2 years, and
it's true. We're going to be on
if we're counting all of like travel time, because from the funeral to where we fought the whatever the fuck, where Lav got the gun, I think that was a handful of days of that travel. And then we found the entrance within the next day and had the whole mining combat then. And the escorting of all of the people was, I think, maybe a day or two. Yeah. And then it was a week travel to Umloa.
I think our characters have been traveling together for a number of months now. There hasn't been like a full season. Or like, or
I
like
think
we
it's
have
been
like a full year of time in our animals, critters' lives, but like it's been almost like I think like we're hitting like a midpoint at that point.
I want to say we've been traveling for roughly 2 months in game.
I think it's been longer than that. I feel
like I really don't think it has been because we've had a lot of sessions, but
there's been a lot of sessions, sure, but I think that there's a lot more travel time. Is what it's been. We've just like sped through it because I remember something about like how where Kronbala, the menagerie is like 2 weeks of travel.
Yeah,
from,
so that was
like,
2 weeks, and we had a week from.
And like that was like I'm trying to say that like Kerr started 2 weeks away from home, but like it took us much longer than that to get there. is what it was, because he's all the way over in the Silvermore Forest, and then our like travels through there have taken like a long time, and the fact that Kerr's been away from home for so long is part of it. Is he was away from home for like a couple of like months or whatever, and then met the party. And from there, now we've started to have like some travel and some things, and so there's more travel time that I think is in the timeline.
Oh, I was talking just like start of campaign to where we are now.
And so what I'm trying to say is start of campaign to where our characters are at now. There's more travel time that we just kind of like gloss over because we're like, yep, we're traveling, and that's all we're doing. And we were on the boat for like 3 days when we first started. We just like we sped through that is what it was.
Yeah, well, because the initial boat ride was about 3 days, and then it was like 2 days for the whole mining and escorting, and then about a week from there to the boat to Amloa, and then I think it was a day, not even a full day on the boat, and then I think it was a week in Amloa before we left again, and then 2 weeks to the menagerie, and it's been a couple of days in the menagerie. I think.
Longer than that.
I really don't think it has been, is the thing. We can talk to Zatara about this. We can put a pin in this.
On this. That's what it is. I feel like there's a lot more travel
time. We'll check the DM.
I
really don't think there has been, but that's... Time is a weird soup, you guys.
We got over. We're not... Our brains are not... Like, our RPGs, like, storytelling brains are not like... Now we're going to roleplay every day of our travel session. Because that's just not where...
Well, like, they're... In Dimensional Dial, I have kept track of how many days it's been in campaign. Like, in the game. So, like... There are some games that I know exactly how long it's been in-game. Because I think for Dimensional Dial, from beginning of the campaign to where we are now, I could pull it up, actually. But, like, time is a wibbly-wobbly thing when it comes to Dungeons & Dragons in campaign. Because you don't think about it most of the time. And then when you're kind of forced to, it's hard.
Okay.
Let's see, how many days are we at in this game? I have so many notes. Go away.
The game
my other game. And my other game, I think we've been together playing for, I want to say 3 or 4 years. I think it's 4 years. It might have been 4 years this last October. It has been 23 days in-game.
Okay, this is why I don't count days in games, because it's always more than what it should be. It's always less than what it should be, is what it is,
because there's so much... Sometimes you have multiple sessions over the span of one in-game day, and that's really hard to compute with your brain.
Yeah, especially whenever your character goes through changes.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we've also gone away from questions. So, back to questions. We were already talking about players' classes and stuff, but if your characters had to be a different class, what would it be and why?
So this is actually a really fun one. I don't think I've actually fully expounded upon this with pretty much anybody. Duke was almost a different set of classes. He was still going to be a multi-class, but it was going to be different. He was always going to be a bard, because Carnival, obviously. But he was almost a rogue instead of a monk. And there was a small chance he would have just been a straight-up bard. But with the acrobatic and being a duo act, and the fact that he's more like the flips and tricks, and his brother was more the escape artist, I built Jet as the rogue bard and Al as the monk bard.
Nice.
Which we've now interacted with Jet in combat, and you can see what Duke almost was.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Would have been fun to see him as a rogue with more, like, thievy, like, I guess, or, like, just more sneaky. Because he's sneaky, but, like, not that kind of sneaky.
He was so overpowered.
Yeah, that's
especially because of some of the racial traits. And I don't think... Like, I know that we have access to the homebrew race that I made because it is in D&D Beyond and is shareable through our campaign link and everything, but like that's never been like expounded upon, or like I've never fully explained that or read it out to people or like discussed it anywhere, which I think that could be a really fun like sidebar stream we do one day, is like really digging through some of the homebrew mechanics and like races or classes or things like that, some of our homebrew items. And obviously, it would only be things that we've already pretty much used all of the abilities for the item or race or whatever. It wouldn't be something that would be like a big reveal in game, but like we could go through some of the stuff that's already been revealed.
For sure.
Part of the reason I think I decided not to do the rogue bard multi-class is because Ruby really, really wanted to do the rogue, and I knew that Lav would be able to play into that more than I could. And that's not to say you can't have two of the same class in a campaign. I just wanted to fill a slightly different mechanic. And I had a lot of other options when it came to... I had the idea for the character, and I built everything else around it. So I had a lot of free playing room when it came to how I classed out Duke. So I gave the rogue to Ruby so that she could explore it how she wanted to, and I was going to explore something else. But also, I've never actually played a monk properly before. Like, maybe here or there, but those campaigns either fall off or I have disagreements with some of the cast members or DM for various reasons and end up leaving those. So Duke is the first time. Yeah, that's just the nature of things. But yeah, I wanted to dig into some of the monk aspects, but also with some of... I kind of already had like a pre-visioned thing of where I wanted Duke to grow to. And I've always loved the Meteor Hammer aesthetics. And I'm like, every character tends to end up accidentally having like a
rope weapon.
A item that is like their weapon. That's like a signature thing. And I was like, I want something that's not as represented in media or D&D or TTRPGs pretty much anywhere. And one of those is Meteor Hammers. And they're just a fun, cool little thing. And they do take some finesse, but also some strength to them. So I was like, yeah, that's going to be his thing. And we haven't had time to sit down and for him to do like full practice training sessions or montages. Granted, we've had one of those, and he practices with it in his downtime. We just don't show that on screen very often because there's not a ton of need for it because it'll just add filler in places we don't need it. But he's not even proficient in it yet. Like, when I'm rolling attacks with that, I am adding my dexterity modifier, and that's it. I can't add my proficiency bonus to that weapon yet.
Not yet.
So I'm kind of fighting with one hand tied behind my back right now, but I'm doing it for character growth.
For the plot, guys. For the plot. It's always worth it for the plot. No. Sure.
Also, the amount of people who have resubscribed for 16 months right now is insane. You got Bacon for 16, Junkies for 16, Millie for 16, and Brooke for 16. That's insane.
Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. We love you so much and appreciate every one of you supporting us on our channel for so long. Oh my gosh.
But also the fact that we've been affiliate for that long, where people have had the opportunity to subscribe to support our stuff. It's just insane. Like, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, it is. Wow. Okay, wait. I didn't answer this question yet, have I?
No.
Yes. Okay. If Kerr had to be a different class, I would probably put him... It actually depends on if I wanted to try... Ooh, what? Oh my god.
Someone commented I could see Cleric Kerr serving a rebellious bard god.
Maybe. I don't know. That would have been funny. Because here's the thing. I love playing martial classes, and I've been trying to try like more different classes as I go. Because I started my very first D&D experience was with a ranger, and
Oh, what a one to start with.
Oh, it was really great though, because it was like a like weapons master like ranger and stuff like that. Like she was awesome. It was a ranger dwarf, and I had a great time just being like I think I started basically I made them into Legolas, you know? Like it was just like a character that could like that was very sturdy, could take a hit, but like was really good at giving a hit too. I also had like a way overpowered weapon because my brother was running the campaign and had like basically given me Mjolnir, and it was awesome. But that was my like ranged weapon that came back to me, and it was really good. It was super overpowered, but
Oh, for sure.
it made that that as a martial class like really fun. And so then from there, one of the next D&D characters I played for like almost 3 years, and like it was just a regular streaming thing we did for like every other week, offline is what it was. So it was just a really like great way to get into the character. Was what was it? She was a fighter, an Eldritch Knight is what she was.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then I finally started to multi-class her into rogue, so I could have a couple of like extra abilities because we got up pretty high leveled, and that was really fun, like multi-class to figure it out. And so I would like to play a straight up rogue at some point. All of this to say, when I was building out Kerr, I really was like, there's a lot of like character ideas I had first, and I was like, I think to put this into a character, because we're gonna start at level 3 or like level 2, and then we'll go into level 3 after the first session. I can't remember how we started it. Was he's mostly this, like mostly a barbarian because he's just so young and full of like fight, but he has always wanted to engage more with this and always wanted to be more of a bard, wanted that to be more of his life, and possibly would be less angry if his life had gone. But I think if he wasn't a bard or a barbarian mix, he would have been a fighter, basically, is what he would have really been. Like, just a solid scrapper. And that would have been really fun to, like, play around with as far as, like, other characteristics or feats. Because I think I would have given him more, like, tavern brawler, and would have given him more, like, less to do with, like, engaging with people politely, and more to just be like, cool, he's just gonna go beat the shit up of anybody, and it's going to be ugly to see.
For sure. Yeah, my first character that I ever played was before I understood everything about D&D, and I played this character and the class entirely incorrectly. And I know that now, but at the time, like, it was a family game that I was doing, and nobody had a huge amount of, like, a lot of us were still learning, and a lot of us were still new, and I played a druid. And if you are starting playing D&D and you haven't ever played before, do not start with a druid or a cleric or a wizard.
So work. It's just so much work.
They renew their spells every morning. They're fascinating to play. Don't get me wrong. Spellcasters are amazing. Take the time to play them if you have the opportunity. Do not start there. They are some of the most complicated individuals to play because of all the extra mechanics that are involved with it. If you want to start there, that's fine. Just make sure you do your research and really thoroughly understand what it is you're getting yourself into. Because I didn't, and I played it wrong, which was fine for the game. But like, now that I know that, I know what not to do and how to properly play the character. Which is why I'm a little more comfortable, because in Dimensional Dial, I'm playing a cleric. I'm playing a life domain cleric. And there's a lot of mechanics that, when you build it really well, they function so well, but they're also a little broken, and you have to be okay with that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh, druid's fun to play with though. That's the thing. I've not done a proper druid. I did one druid for a one shot. It was a druid Goliath. That was fun actually, but guys, just play all the classes, do all the things, try everything out once.
What was that? I don't remember how to pronounce their name, but the one shot where it was you, me, and Victor being GM'd by Chris from Claybeard Studios. That little one shot series where I was playing as Nathan, but a severely underpowered version.
Oh, that's right. Oh, what was it? Was I a druid? I think I was a druid that time too.
I don't remember, but it was a fascinating setup. It was so good.
It was a druid. I can't remember that character's name because I didn't like make that.
It started with like a K. I wonder if I have it in my notes for Nathan somewhere. Actually, that's probably a potential.
Actually. Yeah, no, it was a Dragonborn druid, I believe, and I made it so that like. And I've actually like decided to play it as okay. This character is very weak. and physically
found the name.
weak. What's the name?
I'm putting it in side chat because I don't know how to pronounce it.
Secret chat, where is it? Kathashak, that's right. Kathashak. It really it's pronounced how it looks. It's just it looks like a monstrosity.
It looks weird.
So,
But that's
D A S A C H. Like it is pronounced how it's spelled.
I literally on my Nathan doc of all the story bits, I have like lore questions of things that I want to like incorporate into a story, either in this document or just to keep in mind if I ever get to play him as an NPC or something. Because let me be so real, to anyone who would like to see Nathan as a PC, it's never going to happen because he's broken and severely overpowered. He's an Archfey. He's built to be a character piece and for soft magic purposes. Mechanics break instantly when I try to build him into a proper D&D character, so you will never see him as a PC.
It would be a magical situation where your character like got a major like buff happen to his character to be now at like a lower level. It's like, yes, my character is a general king who's on a mission to reclaim his crown. So he's a level 1 fighter and can't access any of his own skills or things like that. But he has a cool weapon. It's pretty cool. But he's a level 1 fighter now, you know? It's that real life
in my head
story worth it.
In my head, the reason he was where he was is because he was playing a facade. Because if you remember, after certain events happened, he got rid of that facade, looked different, and we transitioned into soft magic things where I was just describing what was happening because it's the power set that he logically has. But yeah, I have a series of lore questions, and one of them is there was a tiefling child that I made a contract with his mother before she died to protect him from the demon that was emerging. And so the series of questions for that specifically was, does he ever show up in the tiefling kid's life again? Does he try to be a positive figure to him? If he does Kathashak let him? Or Kathashak? Anyway. And does he have to do so superfluously, or can he be open about it? Because your character took that tiefling child in.
Very well, because, and I remember this between we unfortunately, not unfortunately, it's fun and this is just what keeps happening. Our characters always seem to butt heads for one reason or another, and it's usually from like a moral or like kind of like attitude or like just like a very like our attitudes for those specific characters just like do not like gel smoothly. So it just is like a lot of butting heads for the most part. And with Kerr and Duke, we really like talked through a lot of like how these types of people would now like try to come together and just like get along, so to speak. And that's gonna be really fun once we get back to like campaign playing, because like
I mean, to be fair, we just saved your dad.
Guys, if you're not caught up on like an Moss, Brass and Briar, some really interesting things just happened, and there's going to be some really, really cool stuff that happens in the future now because of actions taken by everybody involved. It's great.
Yeah.
There's going to be no spoilers, but like Kerr's got a lot of like apologizing to do and like getting out of his own head. We're very excited.
I mean, anyways, both of us do. Let's be so honest.
I know. No, I know.
Back on topic.
Back on topic. With Kathashak and Nathan, it was really fun because Kathashak is in his own mind and in his own like space. Like he is a little bit of like a sneaky character because he uses his visible weakness to like gather information and like be very clever, and then uses his magic to like bolster his strength later on and do things. But he's still very like mortal. And with that mortality comes like a level of, I guess, like humanity versus whatever Nathan's been for so long.
Yeah,
so Nathan's
transitioned because he wasn't ever truly mortal to begin with, because he was born in the Feywild. Like he is that kind of elf at base level, and they have such an extended amount of lifetime that yes, he had humanity and he had all these aspirations and things, which is a whole nother story, and eventually I'll explore it in TikTok videos, which I might actually be transitioning away from TikTok because they've finally sold out to America and I'm not a huge fan of that. But somewhere eventually I'll explore more of his before story, and you guys can see some of what he started as and just the such contrasted difference to now, because he just slowly kept stepping further and further from mortality, and he's not quite entirely immortal right now, but basically is. So there's slowly, as decades have gone on, he's losing shreds of his humanity.
And so Kathashak saw that. I think it's Kathashaw, actually. I remember more of like how I would say it and how why no one else ever said his name. Kathashaw saw through our interactions like how Nython was, and just was like, cool, you're getting nowhere near raising this kid who is an orphan and just needs to be like protected,
which
from
is so
the power
funny.
around him. And
which is so funny, because with bits of his story, pre-character development, Nython was almost a dad, and things happened to prevent that from happening. So like, I think even now he could be a fantastic father. Events have to happen to create circumstances to allow that.
I don't think. I think father is how Nython might think of himself privately in that instance. I think the closest he would ever be would be like a guardian of like a ward, you know, like more of like a patron to like a of a warlock pact, you know. Like I feel like that's the closest that current Nython could get without
Which
a
is
thousand years of character development happening. Is what
like,
is how I understood it.
So much time would have to go by, and like learning processes and things where he would have to regain his humanity and see how some of the things he's done are wrong, even though he did them for the right reasons. But like he still has those shreds that could pull him back from the brink of becoming the full villain, because he's right there. But yeah, it would take a handful of things, but it's definitely something that's still inside of him. Like he would still love to have that aspect of himself, and he hates that it was ripped from him given circumstances of the time. We have faded so far from campaign.
We have moved so far from our campaign stuff into other campaign stuff. And thank you guys for also just letting us go on those tangents there.
Yeah.
It's, you know what, it's like, long story short, D&D is really fun, and D&D can be played in so many different ways with so many different groups, and it's really fun going in like the mind of the past of the other campaigns that we've like done, or like one shots that we've done, because that was supposed to just be a one shot that turned into like a 4-shot because we had to just finish it. Was it 3-shot? Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was pretty the next one I want to ask is, for each of the characters, is there one particular moment or section in game that was either a success or a failure that you wished had the opposite result? And if so, what is that specific moment?
Okay. Oh, do you have ready to go? Because
I want you to answer this first. I don't have one off the top of my head.
I think there was, well, like, there's one, let me see, no, hold on, because the way it worked out was actually, like, really good, and I feel like there was a lot of good development that's happened from that.
Yeah, there's always, most of the results that we've had happen, we wouldn't actually change in the game if we could, because they've led to where the characters are now. But in hypotheticals of different results, sure, we've thought about it, but we wouldn't actually change it.
Right, because like the thing is, when Kerr fails is so good for storytelling things.
Same with Duke. I wish Duke failed more often, actually. But I built him to be so good at things.
Well, like even because Kerr's got like as many buffs as I can give him to like a lot of storytelling things. Where I'm like, okay, he's got lucky as a feat. Like he's got like a lot of charisma that I've given him because he's a bard and because he's a barbarian, and like he's like made this is. I try very hard to make sure that it's like reasonable when he tries to do something, and then sometimes the dice are just like, actually, you're not succeeding with that, so that's fun. But it's great for story for Kerr to think he's hot shit, and then to have reality, or
he's
just
a little
like
more hot garbage.
Exactly, and for. Because, like, listen, I hope I've been playing this very well, or, like, playing this correctly. Kerr is very much in the middle of, like, a spiral of, like, a self-destructive spiral of his life, where he ran away from home. He joined up with this group because he had nothing to do, and he was just going to keep drinking himself, and, like, throwing himself into fights. So cool. I got asked to help out with this thing, and I got paid money. Awesome. More money for booze is what Kerr started out with.
When was the last time he drank?
Oh, he has been nonstop drinking still, and so like, I think since getting to the menagerie now, he's like lessened a little bit. But that's the thing, is he's just been constantly exhausted and like if he wasn't exhausted physically by everything that we were doing and all the saves that we were doing, he would be exhausted. He would be mentally, but also again physically, the other way around, of not drinking now for like the first time in like a more extended period of time. I think this most recent patch of travel and like to the menagerie has been the least amount of drinking he's done, and that will absolutely be having an effect on him. And so like, wherever he's at, he's like very near rock bottom of finding out his home has been destroyed. Possibly like his friends and family he's ever known were all like dead and gone, and like every instance that has proved to be otherwise is such a surprise to him, because he just is convinced that nothing goes right in his life. And so I love seeing him fail, because whenever he does succeed, it feels really like hard won and really well fought. I would maybe have liked to see, because there was but it played out so well when he did like that dream memory thing back in Umloa at the Gentleman's Club.
Oh yeah.
That was what finally happened was it was a fail roll that like it wasn't right. Like what he had wanted to happen just didn't happen, and so it turned into a fail. But it was so good. It would have been really, really, really fascinating to show what the right version of what he wanted would be, I think, for storytelling stuff, because we still don't. There's like little tribblings of that, but like there isn't quite all of it. And the final break and fights between Kerr and Pither is like still like off camera, like it hasn't happened like in front of people before, and so that would have been really cool to like show what Kerr's best version of that would have looked like. But still, I'm really happy with how that turned out, because that failure was so cool. But I every time success and failures happen, it's hard to say if you wanted it to go better, because it's such good storytelling, and it forces you to now like think differently about like what your character's gonna do, because you were trying this and it just didn't work.
We did have a hydrate regime, by the way.
Okay, hydrate. Good.
I did.
Do you have an answer to this now?
So, Duke has had a lot of successes and things because I built him to be that way. But there's a couple of times when, either in arguments or like in the face of some big something, where he's succeeded on like essentially keeping face check, that sometimes I wish he had failed it, to show earlier some of the emotions and internal turmoil he's going through, because he's kept a relatively good face until he reaches a breaking point in which we've seen the arguments, we've seen the aftermath, we've seen the conflicts that have happened from it, and some of the very tense conversations that have been a result of that. But part of me wishes that sometimes, because there's a lot of times I'm making rules in the background for these things, you guys. And those dictate the way that I role play certain things, not necessarily because I couldn't have made that choice myself, but sometimes I'm really torn between which way I want to go, so I'll use a dice roll to kind of help me choose which path he's going to go on, which a lot of times is kind of the way we play it when it's on an on-screen roll anyways, when it's this really hard thing to make a decision about. So I make private roles behind the screen all the time when it comes to trying to figure out how to roleplay a situation. And there's been times where I've had nat 20s in certain places where I almost wish it had been a fail or like a natural one, where he would have been more vulnerable about things and communicated things a little bit better, that he just didn't. Because that would have not necessarily made some of Kerr and Duke's tense relationship with each other better, but it would have facilitated a little bit more open communication that they just don't have.
Yeah, because I will say, like, because I know I have Kerr like go off and like break down and cry and stuff like that. I have Kerr do that like on camera, because that's truly, he goes alone to do it is his thing. He lets it out. That's his very like physical aspect of him with his feelings. Is he'll hide is the problem though. And so that's Kerr's healthy, unhealthy expression of feelings. Is like he'll let it out, but he won't tell anybody what the problem is.
And that has been addressed in game.
Versus Duke doesn't let it out almost ever, is what I think is like what Kerr, what we the players and the like audience have seen. It's just that Duke just bottles it all in, and it's all fine, and it will all turn out great. And then Kerr comes back and is like, what are we doing? Like, you need to let this out. Like, yell at me. Like, you need to let this out. And that's why they two keep butting heads.
And he genuinely doesn't know how to do that, because there's so many small little things. Because Duke is an albino individual, that has such a stigma in the world of Teleday that he's faced a lot of criticism and judgment in just his everyday day-to-day life when he was growing up. And it lessened when he became part of the carnival, because he was a curiosity now. He had some kind of worth in the fact that he was different. And that made things a little bit better, but the backlash he got then was worse than it had been previously. He's not experiencing it as often. So he learned how to bottle it up, because he had to be professional and he had to keep a certain face about him. But because it's been such a long-lasting thing he's had to deal with, because of such a small little thing about something he can't change, he doesn't know how to healthily, openly express his emotions with people outside of his twin brother and his mom.
Yep. I was gonna say, like, Duke has one person is like, and who he's been with for like his whole life. That's his person.
And now that it's not there, it's causing problems.
Like, I was gonna say, because like I know that you have like other siblings, like the carnival was your family, like in a sense for Duke, versus Kerr's like family being like this. Sure, Kerr was like trying, but also fighting his mother's for him, but there was still like the whole family for him to like be a part of and be fighting with, and like be like it like a big brother too, as well as like a big asshole too. Sometimes like his family was like a large part of his life, and and then from his family it's also his community being the whole tree basically. And so just like the two differences in how these two like try to fit through things, and so
they both
it's great.
Big networks of support systems, but they both interact with them very differently.
Yeah, so that's where
these are two very yin yang characters, and they haven't figured out how to make that work yet.
Because like the thing is, they'll be really good. They'll gel really well once they start to gel, and it's very exciting to get to that point.
We've seen a couple of those moments here and there, most of the time in combat, where they figured small bits of shit out. Yeah. But when they finally figure that out in downtime, it'll be interesting for sure.
It'll be great.
Unless certain things happen and certain realizations come about, which could happen 100%. There's still a long road.
Yeah. Also, for any of you shippers out there, it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. We have
100% talked about that behind screen. It won't happen. I'm sorry.
It would be a terrible like relationship, A, and B, it would just not be fun to like try and RP that on
if everybody around would feel the backlash of all of it.
It would be a bad breakup too, so it would not be good. So
it's something that we have definitely, we haven't talked about it like in depth or anything, but we have had conversations about it, and we're totally fine with the memes. We think it's really funny. But in-game, we've decided not to explore it, at least in like a romantic aspect of their relationship, just because there's so many complicated dynamics and things that are going on right now anyways, and we just don't feel like that specific bit of conflict needs to happen. So it's not something we'll be exploring.
It's
meme away, we don't care. It's funny.
There's this is the fun part and perform kind of, and like things are great. It's very worries hell, and it's very good. No, my thing is going through. Am I back?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, I was going for a bit. I don't know where I got cut off. Just there's some stories you just don't tell. Is you make a decision not to tell those stories. That's all I want to make sure I said, and that is one of them, because it's more fun and it's also more rewarding to work through the like comrades in arms who just need to figure out how to get along, basically, and learn
I feel like
how to show emotion.
Yeah. And I feel like there's a lot of times in these D&D games where there's an expectation of romance between PCs. And I think partly we're all friends in real life and there's not that kind of dynamic between us. But like the dynamic Elle and I as people have with each other is such...
I can't, no.
Yeah, like it's such... We could definitely table that and play it as it would be meant to be played. But I think the reason we don't do it is because we have such an intrinsic trust between each other. But the emotions you feel as your characters are real. You are still feeling that. And there's times where we'll get into really heated arguments in character, and I have to spend time cooling down afterwards because the emotions you're feeling and portraying as your character sometimes bleed into your real life. And there have been D&D games that have broken apart because that's a real thing, and that's where I think us as a group, we understand the difference between characters and people, and we know that the decisions made on the table and in-game are left on the table. But we do have to calm down and chill, and we have very important aftercare conversations afterwards about, yeah, we're chill, I need to cool down, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh. I feel bad every time Kerr, like, goes after Duke to be, like, particularly, like, mean, is like how...
And I can always feel it coming to him, like, alright, let's go!
well, because Kerr comes in with, like, big brother and you fucked up energy, or comes in as a you fucked up, like, you fucked up the band, like, kind of, like, that's the thing, like, Kerr is
so steeped in his past mistakes.
He gets vicious when he gets mad, and it's happened a couple of times. And this is also where, like, early on when it was still unsure if we wanted to, like, pursue any, like, kinds of, like, dynamics, relationships, there was, and this is, like, not spoilers, but, like, there were some instances where Kerr was going to, like, be more physical to be cruel, was going to be, because it was going to be, like, a mean version of, like intimacy, I guess is a way of putting it, but it would have
taking advantage of a situation.
It would be the double sword of, like, this doesn't help you, it doesn't help me, and we're just both going to be bleeding and hurt by the end of this. That was what some parts of those interactions were, like, leaning towards.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple of those.
And then like our friendship relationship, like, it developed more, and so now we've really turned into a different corner of that kind of thing.
That's not to say there isn't aggressive, misplaced flirtation every once in a while, because that still happens, and it's still going to happen for sure. But it's never something that's going to be fully put upon. But also, like, in real life, I'm sorry, you flirt with your friends. That happens. Deal with it. Yeah,
fun to do. You just do that because it's fun to tease your friends, and because that's what you do. You bolster them up and also tear them down every time. That's just what friends do.
Speaking of Duke X Thomas, are there any of the memes from the campaign that you guys aren't fond of? So, yes. And one of them I have talked about before, which is the joke. I'm fine with the Duke Donut because it is funny. But when people keep mentioning, like, running into danger, getting himself killed, things like that, like, certain people have pressed it to such a point that it has actually started irritating me, and I have addressed that before. Most of the time, I'm fine with it because it's a joke, and I get that. It's when people use it too much in a quick succession that it starts becoming an issue, kind of a thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's a joke, and we understand that, and we're here to facilitate a story, and some funny things come from that. It's when people push it too far.
I guess I'm just living in the world where I just don't look at any of the memes for the most part. I only get to see the ones that, like, have been, like, passed through the like, quality control that other people check on. But that's my general attitude of the online world, is if I'm not sure if I'm going to like it, I just don't engage with it. Because if other people are having fun and being respectful, like I think the only thing I have an answer with this kind of thing is there have been a couple times in game chats while we've been playing, people have been a little overly descriptive or sexual with about Kerr. And I
Mhm.
understand I've been playing like the more flirty bard of the campaign, and that's just like Kerr's attitude. Like, he is like a lot more flirty towards a lot of characters and the NPCs that we've seen. So, and I made Kerr hot. I want him to be a hot badger.
Hot
So like
boy.
that's just that's what happens. But I don't want it to be overly sexual in like off camera discussions or things, because
Mhm.
that's just like that's my character. I'm playing it, and I don't want other people to like put words in my mouth for it, or
Yeah.
like turn things an extra raunchy space and stuff like that. It's probably just because I'm too ace for that, but it's fun when I do it, and then if I see too much of other people doing it, I get a little of the ick, and it's like,
yeah.
awesome. I don't want to do the flirty character stuff anymore. Is what has come up a couple times privately off camera. So that's just me to the peoples. It's just there's a careful balance between we're having fun and flirting with our friends, and then we've pushed it a little too far of some jokes. So that's my
And
thing on
I
it.
think for the most part, we're pretty good about if we have a problem with it, we'll take it up with the person, the individual that it's happening with, because that's what you do. When you have a problem, you communicate that. And we've been pretty good about making sure we do that. So most of the time, you guys won't hear about some of those conflicts or problems because we keep it one-on-one, because we're not going to blast someone on socials because it's not worth it. Like, we're not going to drag someone through the mud for one small little thing that irked us. We're going to have an honest communication conversation about it.
Yeah, just it's what truly is like the social contract of engaging online, which is we're going to have fun, but we're going to be respectful. And sometimes people miss the line on what that is, or people get into like a circle about like what the joke is. It's just every once in a while, sometimes we all just need to check in, and the people who run the channel will be the check-in that we look for. But we appreciate everybody who like tries to self-police and like try and keep themselves like from going too far into the joke, you know.
And it's one thing where, just to keep in mind as people who are partaking in social media space, if you think it's something that might irk someone or be a problem, check in with that person before you say it or put it anywhere to make sure it's okay, because it's better to be safe than sorry. If you think it might be a problem, even if it's absolutely not for whoever you're asking about it, just check in. It's a safer thing to do.
Yeah, there you go. Easy. It's good for everybody. I think I don't know how long we were planning to really be streaming, but I think maybe like 1 or 2 more questions might be a good call, because we've been talking for almost 2 hours now. So
for sure.
Let's. One of our other questions was very silly. If your character is a Pokemon, what type of Pokemon would they be?
I remember we started talking about this, and I had such a hard time processing this one because I don't know Pokemon at all. That was not a space that I was in when I was younger, or even now. Like, I know nothing about it. So as we were chatting, kind of theorizing about it.
What's his name? What's his name?
That's Pikachu.
Right.
That one.
No, that's fine. No, it's the question isn't what Pokemon would your character be. The question is
no, it's the fighting type.
Yeah.
But I still don't know.
Pokemon. I think Duke
I will not be playing Pokemon on stream. Listen, Baruch, you got me to do Hollow Knight, which I was thinking about doing anyway, but like Pokemon I've never had an interest in, and I still don't.
I think you're missing out. You could have a lot of fun with
That's okay. That's fine. But I'm it's not my kind of media.
Maybe it's fair enough. I think like the OG stuff. Like I remember my first Pokemon game being like Yellow, like the OG like Nintendo Game Boy giant cartridge and stuff like that. And I played Yellow, and then I played Silver, and then I got into. But then the new Game Boy started coming out, so I got to play Leaf Green, and then I got to play Emerald, and then now there's just been so many new Pokemon games. I haven't gotten to play all of them. I've gotten to play Heart Gold, is like one of the newer ones, and I don't think I ever finished it, but I got one of the newer games. I think it was like, it wasn't Sword, or it was Scarlet or something like that. I don't know. It was one of the new ones. I don't think I even finished it. Like it was just Pokemon has just evolved into a new kind of playstyle. But I like the older games a lot. They're really fun, and the graphics are cute, and you just get to have a fun little collection of Pokemons, and they're just really fun. Look at this one. Who could say no to this place?
When we were like brainstorming, the idea I initially had was like, I think I initially said part of him would probably be ice, just because ferrets are found naturally in colder biomes. And then taking the D&D aspect, we had thought maybe like fighting or psychic, but I didn't know because I don't know anything about it.
Honestly, I think I see him as like a normal ice type is what I would put Duke as, because normal in my head is more of like a monk class is what I would put that at. And so ice would be for like your bard stuff, and like again with like colder fur and things like that, and being like a white ferret, like I think, or like albino ferret. I think I would see Duke as normal ice, not being too much into class specific, but like before you had a class even, it is what I'm like trying to put it at.
Just him as a character, as an individual.
Exactly. For Kerr, I think he would be, I think he's like a dark type, and it's a fighting dark, I think, is like a weird like contradiction, because I think fighting is technically effective against dark types, but I will say, just like as like a, again, like the character before the class, I think that would be like the best mix of him being like really stocky, but like he's sure. So that's what I see. Oh, I will say Pokemon Snap is so much fun. Okay, KJ, if you don't want to play any actual Pokemon games, Pokemon Snap is fun, because you just are like, you're taking photos of Pokemon for challenges, and it's really neat. Actually, I need to get that on my Switch.
Brute could see Kerr being a dark steel type as well. Interesting.
I can see that too. Yeah, that one actually it might be. I think that's actually the better combination. Works. That does make more sense. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I love
Which ones
Pokemon.
have we?
Okay, we did the drinks, different classes, favorite PCs.
We did Major Arcana, Top or Bottom Bunk. Think about you in real life. I think we have which Muppet would you want to play your character in a movie, and what's your favorite moment in game thus far? I think those are the last two we've got.
I think those are the last two. So, what do the people want to hear more? The Muppets or favorite moment? The Muppets or the moments in the campaign? Would you prefer? Is it the moment or is it the Muppets? Comment now what you would like to hear from us. Also, because I think I forgot to put this in at the beginning, and while you all are typing away, want to say thank you to Sirenscape, Arcane Anthems, and Lindy Sterling for our music.
Emmeline Sterling.
Emmeline Sterling. Why do I always say it wrong? I always say it wrong. We love being able to use their music. You should support them online. But favorite moment.
Favorite moment. We got one for Muppet. Well, not even for Muppet. Bacon just says, I feel like Duke is the real person among the Muppets, which I think is really funny.
Honestly, though.
Okay, Worm, first of all, would not be fire because he does acid damage. He doesn't do fire damage.
Yeah, he's like a poison fairy type is what I would put him at. Because he's like more of a fairy dragon now. So.
Okay, favorite moment in the game thus far?
All right, what you got?
That's a really good question. I'm gonna be so real. It has to be that visionary dream sequence with learning about the Watchers and the potential deal between Duke's mom and Thomas. That dream sequence with the shot on the Dulcimer is probably my favorite thus far. Which could easily be overtopped by a handful of things coming up in the future, but so far, that is my personal favorite moment.
Okay, that was a really cool moment too. With my favorite moment of the campaign has been, and it's not a Kerr moment, it was a Scree moment. It was when Scree used the scissor to cut the yarn on the other players in the Coliseum. That was so good. I want that animated. I have it in my brain, like I have like what the shots would look like, and like the effect.
It was such an anime moment. It was such an anime moment.
I can't get it out of my head. It was so good. There've been so many amazing moments though, like
We've had some really, really good stuff come out of this game.
really good stuff. Like the time that, because if I think of one that was like my character favorite, was when Kerr used the wound closure paraff on
To juke out
the
Thomas.
first time. Like the
Yep.
second time yeah, that was so cool. I didn't think it was gonna work, and I'm really glad our DM is like really happy to like mix and match to make sure like the story hits the way we want it to. And I do think that if any of us were like, this is the end of my character, I see this as the end, our DM would make sure that like that happened.
For
It's
sure.
just that we want to keep telling our story, and so he has worked with us to make sure that we get to keep telling our story. So it's
But also,
really
like,
fun.
Because Duke
That
has
moment
died
was
twice.
just
Because Duke has died twice, I have a backup character now. It's not fleshed out in any, like, I have the concept of the character, and I've actually built a character sheet for this character, but, like, I have it sitting in the wings because I have made peace with the fact that Duke could realistically permanently die. I don't want him to, for sure, but I'm the kind of person where if shit happens, and I want to stick true to that storytelling moment, because sometimes the most critical, crucial thing that can happen to an adventuring party to really, like, give them enough motivation to do the thing they need to do is for someone they care about to die, which sucks, but sometimes that's what it is. So I have already in my brain made peace that if Duke dies, that's okay. I've got something else I can play and pull in.
I will say I don't have a backup character planned or anything like that. I've like got ideas of like, oh, if I made another character for this, this is maybe what I would do. I do have peace with any ending of Kerr that includes him like dying before the journey's over. Like I think that might just be like part of his journey if that is what happens, because he's been looking. You do that often enough, someone's got to come. It's very much just something I'll be happy to see happen. So I think that's everything for me. I've enjoyed the campaign moments as they hum, and like there's just so many of them. I know I'll think of more later. But every one shot that I've gotten to see or be a part of was so much fun too, and like there were so many cool moments from them. When we did like the bard battle in your one shot backstory one shot with you, that was so much fun. The Scree one shot was awesome with like this new look at Wax, like Scree's mentor, and like all the exploring that we were doing in that area, and like the dungeon crawl kind of that we fell into to help Scree escape. Just was so fascinating. There have been so many cool moments, and then there's just some funny ones that like I rewatch and I just like laugh my brains out. They're so fun.
For sure, 100%. Okay, I'm looking to see if there's someone we can raid to keep the audience busy.
Yes. So, guys, so thank you again for joining with us today. We appreciate so much that this was a lot more of like a chill stream. We got to answer some questions. I think we can try and do this kind of thing again with our other friends as well, where we'll just have like a little more one-on-one and see what happens on another day. Thank you so much for taking the time of your Sunday to hang out with us, and we're really, really excited for our next stream starting on January 4th. This will be
if all goes to plan and tech allows, it'll be January 4th.
Yeah, tech is just all of our friends getting their Wi-Fi to stop not being cooperative.
Is a problem. Okay, so there's a channel, the Game Master Eric, they're on their 89th episode. It's called Beneath Fallen Skies.
Ooh, all right, that sounds very interesting. So again, thank you all so much, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. And remember to go touch moss if you can.
I hate the raid countdown, but we got there. We'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.